Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Now this is another advice video and I make no excuse for doing two advice videos back to back because from the emails and comments there appears to be hundreds of first timers coming this high season, which starts in only 4 weeks. Now we'll run quickly through the basic stuff like bars and lady drinks, then we'll move on to the less understood information about Thai culture, which will affect any Thai girl relationship you may have. Now if you're wondering where we are, this is the night bazaar market on Second Road, nearly opposite Central Festival. The chat is about beginner's advice and mistakes you shouldn't make and Thai culture and basically all the stuff you should know before you come as a beginner, first timer, whatever you want to call it. We'll start off with the evening you arrive. The first thing you'll do when you get to Pattaya probably is go into a bar. And what will happen is a girl will come up to you and ask you what you want to drink, and she may start chatting to you. Now if she does, the chances are she will probably want you to buy her a drink, a lady drink, which is fine. That's how you get to know her. That's how she makes money. She makes 50 baht. Each lady drink is about 150 baht in a normal bar, a little more in go-go's and places like that, and that's how she makes her money. That's part of her wage. What you don't want is multiple girls coming over. If you see a girl and she comes over, you buy a drink, that's fine, just stick with the one girl. But then what happens is they come over in 2s and 3s and they sit down and chat to you, and you're expected obviously to buy 3 or 2 or 3 or 4 lady drinks, which suddenly gets very expensive, and then they'll down them and ask for another, and then it gets doubly expensive. Another thing to avoid is shots like tequilas and actual some small shots, because they just down there one go, they're gone, and they're the same price. They're 150, 200 baht, whatever. So avoid shots. Don't ever buy shots. If she asks for a lady drink, say yes, but not short or a shot, not a long lady drink, and it gives you more time to sit down and chat. So that's a small thing. When we go into bar finds, there'll be another thing about lady drinks which I'll have to bring into it with regarding her friends. Okay. So a bar fine is just, if you want to take a girl out of the bar, you have to compensate the bar for the loss of her service. With a beer bar, that's around about 500 baht these days. Used to be 300, but not anymore. But then you get these silly bar fine prices where you start to go to go-go's and things, and they say 1,000 baht bar fine or 1,500 baht bar fine. It's just grabbing insane, stupid prices, in my opinion, and that's to be avoided. So when you take a girl out to a bar, you want to take her where you want to go. Okay? Now don't go listening to the girl and she says, I want to go to this particular bar because my friend works there. That's the last thing that you want. You don't want to be taking a girl to another bar where she suggests, because there'll be some girlfriend there, and then you'll end up having to buy 2 or 3 lady drinks, and then it gets expensive. And you may not realize it, but girls have a system where they take the customer to their friend's bar in a way to repay a little debt to a friend who previously, a few days before, had brought a customer to their bar, and their customer had to buy them drinks, and they're trying to squeeze as many drinks as possible out of one customer for multiple girls in different bars. So don't go to a bar where she suggests she has a friend she wants to go to that bar. It's just a way to save money. Okay? Do what you want to do, not what she wants to do. Also, a lot of girls work as freelancers in multiple bars, not just the one that you found her in. So if she says, "Oh, this bar is good," and you will go have a drink there, when you end up with the bill, it'll have a lady drink on it instead of a normal priced drink, because she's a freelancer in that bar as well as the other one, and probably several others as well, depending how long she's worked in Pattaya. So she'll start by, when she chats, by asking you specific questions, and it's always the same questions. And the reason for that is because they want to know specific information about you. So, for example, she'll say casually, "You come holiday?" And you say, "Oh yes, I'm here for 2 weeks. First time, I'm a complete newbie." This tells her you don't know the score and you can be taken advantage of. That is the purpose of that question. The next question would be something like, "How long you stay in Thailand? When you go home?" That's not a casual question. The reason for that question is more translated as, "How much time do I have to get your money off you?" That's the truth. Another question would be something like, "You come Thailand before?" And the reason for that is, what she's saying is, are you naive? Are you a beginner? Or do you know the score? Another question would be, where you stay? Which sounds like an innocent question, but it has a reason behind it. First of all, she wants to know, are you staying in an expensive hotel? Because she knows the hotel, believe me, she's been to most of them. Or are you staying in a cheap guest house? In other words, how much money have you got? And the other thing is, where is the hotel? Because she doesn't want to go too far out of her way. If it's in the centre of Pattaya, that's fine. If you say, "No, I'm staying in Namjai," she'll walk away. Well, she'll make some excuse and walk away, probably. Or, a long way away, in other words. She doesn't want to know if it's a long way away and hard to get back from. Another thing you shouldn't do is take a bar girl into a shopping mall. Because she'll go in the shops and then she'll just see something which she really, really, really wants and cannot afford, and you'll be expected to buy it for her, and if it gets really heavy, it'll be a gold shop, not just a pair of sneakers or something. It'll be a gold shop, and then once you say no to something like that, the whole thing turns sour. So, not a good idea. Things like this, like taking shopping, whatever, see if you'll buy stuff, it has a purpose, and it's not just a case of trying to grab money out of you. It's not that. It is, but it isn't. There's more to it than that. In Thailand, there is something called Namjai. Okay. Now, Namjai literally translates as overflowing heart, or a heart which is overflowing with generosity of spirit. Okay, that's Namjai. Namjai is highly prized in Thai culture, and it's not anything to do with flying or with foreigners. It's to do with the Thai people themselves expect other people, or hope other people have Namjai. It can be just a case of looking after somebody, looking after older people, looking after animals, looking after this or that, or children, or just generally looking after and taking care of people. That's what it's about. And in fact, Thai girls who marry Thai men prefer men who have Namjai, who are generous of spirit. It doesn't have to be money, but obviously with foreigners tends to be money. But this is the Thai culture, and it all comes from that. That's where it all originates. So a Thai girl will give the man, which doesn't have to be a foreigner, as I said, it can be a Thai man who do the same with them. It'll give them the opportunity, put them in a position where they can show if they have Namjai, or generosity of spirit. Sort of thing like, for example, what does happen, and it's totally misunderstood, is if you take a girl out for just a meal. It doesn't have to be an expensive meal, just a meal somewhere. And she said, "Oh, my friends, I have 2 friends who want to meet you. Can they come as well?" And what you think is their friends are coming for a free meal. Well, food in Thailand is dirt cheap, and the girls make money, so they don't care about that, to be honest with you. The purpose of this, the purpose is that the girl who you're with wants to show you off to her friends as being a person with Namjai, with generosity of spirit, and that you will quite happily give a free meal or whatever to her friends and feel good about it. In fact, in Thai culture, somebody who has a friend, a boyfriend who has Namjai, gains face. You know, in Thailand and in most Asian countries, you can lose face, you can gain face. If you have a boyfriend who has generosity of spirit, Namjai, you gain face with your friends, and it puts you on a slightly higher level than them, and that's what part of that is about. The worst misunderstanding which can happen with this sort of thing, where she says, like, I have 2 girlfriends who want to come eat with us, is the guy will get some idea in his head about threesomes, foursomes, whatever. No, no, that is not what it's about. Okay, I've explained what it's about, and it's not that. The more that you learn about Thai culture, the more you can avoid making these mistakes. Just briefly going into some aspects of Thai culture which you'll notice and may be puzzled by, because it's so different to the West, is public affection. Even with bar girls, they don't want public affection. So like if you are in a street, in a restaurant, somewhere in the public, they don't want to kiss, they don't want to cuddle, they don't like it. It's not traditionally the Thai way. I mean, some girls obviously who've worked in Pattaya for years and years have got over that and will be like a Western person, but the great majority still stick to those values. So that's nothing to do with they don't like you, it's just that it is their way. They don't like to show affection in public. And just so you understand the girls from their perspective, how they look at men in general, it's traditionally the Thai way that Thai men are unfaithful regularly, all the time. Most of their lives they're unfaithful, and they even have words, special words, like for example a gik, G-I-K, gik. A gik is an F buddy, you know, is the simplest way to. And guys will have 2 or 3 of those, and they'll also may have a mia noi, which means a small wife, which is the second wife after the main wife. This sort of thing is natural to Thai men, and one of the reasons why Thai girls actually prefer foreigners in many respects. Not only the money, but the fact that foreigners tend to be more honest and more faithful than Thai men. So just briefly going back to the Namjai thing, basically what that is the way that Thai girls expect you to show affection is to get things for them, give them things, buy things for them. That is the way they expect it. Now, if someone has Namjai, that's wonderful. If they're not, if they're kiniao, which means they're mean or stingy, or literally translated is a sticky shit, then that's not good, you know. So you show your affection by showing support, is the way they look at it. However, this is completely misunderstood in the West as them being money grabbers. However, there are a lot of money grabbers about, and that really does. We could do a whole video about the sick buffalo and how to avoid being taken for a ride, as many guys are. you have to be really careful. You have to have your wits about you. You have to understand the culture, the situation. And it takes a while. It takes an awful lot of visits or living here before you truly, really understand what is going on, you know? Yes, regarding how long a girl has worked in Pattaya, they look at it a different way to the way we do. We basically mean, when we say how long have you worked in Pattaya, we mean in total, like have you worked in Pattaya for a year or 2 or 3 or whatever. They will turn around and say, oh, I've only been here for a month, because what she actually means is that she came back from having a little holiday at home a month ago, but she had previously worked for 6 months in Pattaya and had another holiday of a day or 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever, Songkran or some other festive time, and then the clock starts again. Well, each time she comes back, it's a completely new session. So she said, oh, I've only worked in Pattaya for 2 weeks, because even though she's actually worked there for 3 years, she goes home every so often and then comes back, and then when she comes back the clock starts again. That's the way they think, okay? I just briefly mentioned there about girls going home, because they do go home. Not that often, because they can't afford to. Because whenever they go home, the bank account gets totally trashed, totally wiped out by the family. They want every last baht off the girl, because that's the reason she's there. She's there to support the family. And when she goes home, she's expected to pay for everything, buy presents and everything, and they will take every last baht off her. And she accepts that, because in Thai culture, you have an obligation to your parents for giving you life. It's as simple as that. And it's an obligation which you can never deny and never get out of. It's a permanent obligation. And that is why she wants to get as much money out of anyone as she can in order to support her family. And once she's been home, and the family have basically fleeced her of every baht, she'll be expected to return to Pattaya as soon as possible. She won't be really that welcome to hang around the house. She'll be expected to go and provide more money. That's the way it is. I said I would go through a few of the phrases that they use and things they say and what they actually mean. I mean, one of the obvious things which you hear all the time straight away is hello sexy man, hello handsome man. I mean, that's just obviously just nonsense as a rule, but it's a hook. It's a sales hook, and it works. It's complimentary and people like it. Even though it's not true 90% of the time, it still works, and people respond to it. That's why they do it, and it does bring people in the bar. And if you go in that bar and you buy the girl drinks, you will continue to be a sexy, handsome man until your money runs out. And age is not really a factor to the same degree as it is in the West. I mean, these days it is a little bit more, because the very young girls in their early 20s will really only go with younger guys. But once a girl gets past 30 in Thailand, she's considered like a bit of an old lady at 30. So once they get to 30, then they really don't care too much how old the man is, as long as he's fit and able and has a full wallet. And when the wallet is empty, he can go to an ATM and replenish the wallet. That's what's important. And treats the girl well, and is reasonably gentlemanly-like to a degree, because she doesn't want to lout, you know. In the Thai language, there's a phrase, Jai Di, which means good heart. literally a good heart. Not in the sense of he's not going to have a heart attack, but in the sense of he's kind. Now, a good heart means really a bit more than just being kind. It means someone who can provide, someone who is generous. But it's no good being generous if you don't have the wherewithal to back it up and support her and take care of her. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, to a Thai, family is of paramount importance, much more important than you ever will be. So you have to be able to provide the wherewithal to take care of her family as well as her. And that's what you call a good heart, or Jai. Okay? Another thing that you'll hear Thai girls say is, I know like Thai men. Now, if you think about that statement, it doesn't make any logical sense, because Thailand is probably one of the purest bred bloodlines in Southeast Asia, Thai to Thai, you know. There are not that many multicultural or mixed race, should I say, Thai and Falang children, or Thai and something else children. So that doesn't make any sense. What she's actually saying is not, I don't like Thai men. Most Thai men don't make a lot of money. I mean, some, obviously, a good proportion make very good money, but most don't. So what she's actually saying is she doesn't like men who don't make money or aren't rich, is what that actually means. I mean, if she came across, you know, a proper wealthy Thai man, a young man who had done well, worked for Casio and Bank, was a manager and had loads of money or something, she'd like him. Don't you worry about that. She'd like him. You know, so that's a generalization which is not actually true. So just ignore that. When they say it, doesn't actually mean that. If you do get involved, properly involved with a Thai girl or bar girl, then it's quite possible that at some stage in the relationship she may come out with something like she wants to stop working in the bar, or she wants to stop working in nightlife or whatever, and get a proper job, and maybe go to a hairdressing school or something like that, and go learn something, and then start her hairdressing shop or some other business, or selling clothes or something, because she wants a proper life as opposed to the nightlife type life. Now, you would be expected to finance that initially, and if it goes bust, and finance it again and again, and it can happen 2 or 3 times before she finally gives up. Or if it does work, that's fine, and she will do well. Let's say she does well, then she will expect you, because she's changed her lifestyle from nightlife to day life, if you like, she'll expect you to do the same, and you have to be willing to do that. So that means you have to give up your, you know, your nights out and what have you, if you know, with the lads and things like that to a degree, and be more with her, more helpful with her business and so on. But this is really for expats we're talking now, who have a serious relationship. But this, you know, this is what can happen, and it really means if she is willing to, you know, reach a stage where she's in a life where she wants to change her lifestyle from a night lifestyle to a day lifestyle, then you would need to be willing to do the same. And are you? Are you? Hopefully, guys, you understand a little more about what a relationship with a Thai girl is really like. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please have a look at Patreon. Just go below, click more, and click Patreon. Have a look. There's some brilliant Soy 6 and Gents Club videos on down there now. Okay, guys, thanks for listening. See you on the next video.